Hey there, Annie Dickerson here with Goodegg Investments, and today I wanted to give you a framework for which to think about your real estate investing, particularly if you're trying to figure out which avenue of real estate investing to go down, which path is right for you. Now, to do this, we're going to use a concept called Ikigai. This is a Japanese concept, and it basically means your reason for being. Now, in Japanese culture, they use this to help you determine your career path or your bliss in life. And it involves four basic components. One is doing something that you love. Second is doing something that you are good at. Third is doing something that helps the world. And fourth is doing something that you can get paid for. And if you can find something at the intersection of all those four things, what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for, that is your Ikigai. And everybody has a different Ikigai. And so what I want to do today is take that concept and apply it to real estate investing. But first, I want to talk a little bit about my career path so you can kind of get this concept of Ikigai in your head and really understand it, because we're always thinking about our careers, our jobs, our passions, and so it's easier to apply it there. And then once we do, I'm going to switch gears and we're going to talk about real estate investing and how to find your reason for being within the world of real estate. Okay? So first, let me start with my own career path. Now, in the 10 years after college, I had 9 different jobs. And I realized it was because I was searching for my Ikigai. I was so committed to finding my Ikigai, even though I didn't know that's what it was called at the time. But every time I started a job, I would get really excited for a while. And I would say, oh my gosh, this is the thing. This is my calling. And then inevitably over time, I'd realize, okay, it's not fulfilling me in this way, this, that, or the other way. And then I'd quit and go on to the next thing where I'd have the whole thing all over again, the whole honeymoon phase, all of that. And I realize now it was because if you're not in alignment with your Ikigai, in other words, if not all 4 of those components are there, you may feel some excitement and fulfillment for a little while, but over the long term, you're going to feel out of balance. And this is the same for real estate investing. So when I started out as a 4th grade teacher. And with that, I loved it. I loved teaching. I was pretty good at it. My students scored the top in the school. It's certainly something that the world needs. The fourth thing, though, could I get paid for it? I could get paid for it, but was it enough? After a while, it turned out with all the hurdles and the bureaucracy and the red tape that the compensation piece was the one downfall. I couldn't get compensated enough to make it worth it for me. And so then I went on to game design, and with game design, I was good at it. And I liked it. I loved it. I was good at it, but it wasn't quite what the world needed. It didn't quite get me out of bed in the morning to think about designing games to get more people to pay more money in the games. It just wasn't what the world needed. And the other piece was I was working for a lot of startups in the game space. And so again, the compensation piece wasn't quite there. Well, then I moved on to learning and development, where I created trainings for companies. And there, I was good at it. I was working as a creative director, so I was pretty good at it. And I could get paid decently well doing that work. But again, you have to have all 4 buckets. And I found that over time, as I climbed the corporate ladder, I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. And the other piece is I was thinking about, does the world actually need these trainings? Well, yes and no. There certainly is a need for compliance trainings and employee trainings. But for me, it didn't quite feel like I was making that impact that I wanted to make. So again, it wasn't quite in alignment for me. It wasn't until I discovered real estate, and Julie and I created Goodegg Investments, that I found that all four of those things were in alignment. It was something that I loved, something that I was good at, something that the world needed, and something that I could get adequately compensated for. And so this is what I want to talk about. I want to apply this to real estate now. So you might have, as I've been talking about my story, you might have been reflecting on your own career path journey, which is great. This is a fantastic framework to think about your passions and your interests and your career path. But not a lot of people use this to think about their real estate investing. So I want to switch gears now and talk about Ikigai as it applies to real estate investing. And so all those four components apply when you think about real estate investing. Now, there's lots of ways to invest in real estate, right? We focus on syndications, which are group investments, but there you can do short-term rentals, you can do mid-term rentals, you can do long-term rentals, you can do the BRRRR method, you can do wholesaling. There's so many different ways to get involved in real estate. And so especially if you're either starting out and you're not sure which path to go, or maybe you've been doing long-term rentals, but you want to diversify or you want to try something else, this is a great framework to help you figure out what's that next move or that next path for you. So what you're going to do is, if you have a piece of paper, you're going to just draw a blank line at the top. That's where you're going to put the type of real estate investing you're thinking about. And then down below, you're just going to write out those four buckets: what I love, what I'm good at, what the world needs, and what I can get paid for. So you're going to write those four things. And then what you're going to do is pick an area of real estate investing that you're thinking about, or perhaps you're currently involved in. You're going to write that in the blank line at the top. And then for each of the buckets, you're just going to rank yourself from 1 to 10. 1 being completely not fulfilled, this bucket is totally empty for me, to 10, oh my gosh, this is the perfect fit, my bucket in this area is totally filled. And so your minimum score is going to be 4 across all 4 categories. Your maximum score is going to be 40. And so if you're running at about 20, then that tells you, okay, it might sustain you for a little while, but long term, it's probably not going to work. If you're 30 and above, that tells you that this area of real estate investing has long-term legs for you, and it might be a really good fit. And now keep in mind that things will change over time, so it's really great to revisit this Ikigai framework time and again to just take a little pulse, get a little check-in as to where you are. And then for the novice investors out there, if you're thinking of something that you haven't tried yet, let's say you're thinking about doing short-term rentals, and you've never done it before. And so you're not sure, are you good at it? I don't know. Will I love it? I don't know. So what I'd recommend there is you go find somebody who's currently doing that thing, and you interview them and you ask them the questions. Okay, what does your day-to-day look like? How much time do you spend doing this? Who are the people that you interact with? What are the skills that you really need to thrive in this type of real estate investing? And then you try that on for size for yourself. You think about, okay, am I really good at that skill? Even if I'm not currently doing it in that context, but do I think I would be really good at that? If it's spreadsheets, and you're a data person, great. But if it's spreadsheets and you hate spreadsheets, then maybe it's not a good fit, right? So get a sense of what it entails and try to see yourself in that role and give yourself a ranking, an honest ranking, just to see where you are. So hopefully, whether you're new to real estate investing or you're thinking of diversifying into other aspects of real estate investing, or you just want to take a pulse as to where you are, something might not feel right or might feel off. Hopefully this Ikigai framework gives you a new perspective, a new way to think about your journey, whether it's your career path or your real estate investing journey. All right, well, the last thing I would say is comment down below. Let us know which avenue of real estate investing you're thinking about and what your ranking is. We'd love to hear your story, so share more down below. And of course, if you have any questions at all, you can comment down below. We're always checking in as to the Goodegg community. And if you're interested in investing alongside us in the syndications that we do, we invite you to go to our website, goodegginvestments.com/invest. You can learn more about that there. All right, with that, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has given you a helpful perspective. And as we always say, hope you have a sunny side up day.